In the heart of the trading world, I have been on my journey to trading mastery here at Axia. And in today's video, you're going to be getting a whole bunch of insights from one of the industry's finest. I'm going to be chatting with none other than the co-founder as well as head performance coach of Axia Futures, Mr. Alex Haywood. And in this video, we're going to be doing a deep dive into my quest for success, seeing where I am right now in the 6-week career program, as well as moving forward. This is Learning from the Top, my first month at Axia Futures. So kick back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the conversation. We will be discussing my early trance, those light bulb moments that I've been getting along the way, as well as, of course, some nail biting challenges that I've been reaching as well, and how I dealt with them, and of course, some great insights from Alex about that. And you're going to be getting to see all of that through my eyes, my ears, and of course, this nifty little camera. Welcome to Trading the Dream, a world of sacrifice, opportunity, and of course, relentless ambition. Now, of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button, of course, and that notification bell that will keep you constantly up to date with all of the latest and greatest videos that Axia Futures produce for you guys. So I'm going to go fish out Alex, get him set up on the table outside, and get started with the conversation. Hope you enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again today. We're here with this conversation, and I managed to get Alex Haywood out of the office to have this conversation with us. Alex, just to give you an introduction here, has been in the industry for over 20 years now. As I already said in the introduction, a pioneer in this industry, and has been heavily focused, as a co-founder of Axia Futures, building it from the ground up, from its inception, as well as developing trading teams globally. Always an honor to sit down or have my chats with Alex anyway in general, but to do it for you guys, behind the screens, it's even better. So Alex, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Peter. Pleasure being here.
Awesome. So I guess really my main focus I really want to talk about is I've started the 6-week career program, as you know, and we're now at the end of week 5. So almost at that kind of endpoint for the 6-week course. And I've been reflecting a lot on it. I've been doing, I'm trying to learn along the way, journaling, and I've had some really cool light bulb moments. I've had some nail biting challenges along the way as well, which is all to be expected, but it's been great to kind of push through that, have the support with Richard constantly on Discord, and to have you as well to go through everything. But what I wanted to know, because I come back from an educational background as well as a teacher, and I'm just incredibly impressed on how well structured the course is, just to start with. But I want to know actually how it all started. Where did the courses start from? How did you kind of get started with it all?
Thank you very much, Peter. And firstly and foremost, the training has to be best in class in order to cultivate and bring talent through the door, because that's our other side of the business, and the main side of the business is the proprietary trading. And on the proprietary trading side, we have to produce world-class traders in as a rapid period as possible. And so the entire training is always organized on a very collaborative, almost supercharged network of high-performing traders, just taking all the very best practices, but starting first on the foundational elements. And those foundational elements are the tools that we use to first generate trade ideas, and then how do you go about accessing and monetizing those trade ideas? So the principles, the mental models, the frameworks, that's what you need to start first, like the tools of your trade. And from that basis is, well, how do we go and apply that knowledge? How do we go and extract opportunities in the market? And we also approach the markets in a very holistic setting. And so that holistic setting is from a futures day trading perspective. And the holistic perspective has its also specialisms in certain areas, but we have a whole matrix of edges within the organization. We have over 130 professional traders. Of those 130 is probably 30% of world-class elite performing traders. So it's making sure there's always this evolving training program that starts with its first principles, as I mentioned, but the evolving and the adaptation. Our program needs to evolve and adapt just like the markets do, just how skill sets, how any sport or professional sport. So it's those foundational tools, market profile for idea generation, the footprint, the price ladder, and then also understanding core risk management procedures. Also understanding how we trade macro central bank events, because they're all intertwined, they all affect each other. Understanding the correlations between markets, and so moving, the whole kind of history is starting from the tools, and then having to provide an intensive program that also filters people out of those who really want it, because this isn't easy. This is an incredibly challenging game, and we can give the very best training and education, because we know we do, because we have world-class traders, but we don't know how resilient that train your students. So it's also part of our filtering process of who can make it out at the end of this. And then it's the most important part of our training is the drills, the application. And then over and above that is how we go about learning. We're as much as a learning organization as a trading education company of how our cognition understands, how we learn patterns, how we understand ourselves and interface in the markets, how our emotions interface in the market. And we try and capture all of that. And you mentioned you're in week 5 at the moment of the program. And those last 2 weeks are some of my most exciting, because that's where you generate your feedback loop of how you learn, your debriefing structures, how you go about learning, how you go about planning. The top traders on the planet are highly professional, and that professional comes down to your pre-match gaming, your post-match diagnosis. You have to diagnose your game, and then how do you go implement that new feedback so you evolve, you adapt. So the course is ready, generated from the top down, starting with foundation principle frameworks, and then testing. There's accelerated knowledge, but as I always say, for every student, is in the beginning it seems very daunting, but eventually the dust settles and the brain is amazing. It slowly starts putting the puzzles together as you interface with the markets on a consistent basis.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, like you mentioned, the last 2 weeks, I mean, where I'm at right now, we've been doing a lot about, the debriefing, especially the last couple of days. And we actually had a meeting on the trading floor as well, which was amazing to hear concepts from around the team. And me myself, I've got to admit, I was never one to really debrief my trades, being with my training wheels on at home, so to speak. And doing that now, and I know this is a stage that's going to constantly evolve as well, the debriefing process, but it allows me to make sure the following day, and even like you said, the pre-match, getting set up, I find myself being so much more in control of what I'm doing. And it's just, yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, and that's a key word you say there, in control. When you're not prepped, you haven't done your debrief, you become much more reactionary. Yeah. The markets with the price ladder becomes highly suggestible. So then it's going to capture the very weakest elements of your emotion, of your psyche, of your skill set. So the moment that you are unplanned, you haven't debriefed yourself, seeing where your weak points are, where your strengths are, you are going to be reactionary. You're going to be more emotional, and so those are the variables you do control.
Yeah, excellent stuff. So I mean, I want to move on to again, because I want this whole series is about following my journey here at Axia and where I'm at, and right now being at this sort of final hurdles of this 6-week career program. Some of the lessons that I found myself to be very beneficial, I mean, apart from just going into such depth with things like profiles, eye-opening, the footprint, the order flow, all of this stuff, I would say it's like the lid has been lifted for me. I see trading in a very different way, and this has been one of the best things that I've taken on so far, and it's just going to keep growing and evolving, of course. But being able to see trading in such a different light now, it's so difficult. I mean, I actually sat down at home the other night just to get up my old trading setup, right, and how I was doing things, and I thought I couldn't even remember what I was doing back then, because now everything has just sort of but it's becoming part of my DNA, so to speak, with the trading. So these fundamentals have been so eye-opening. I'm really looking forward to the trading psychology part.
Yeah, well. I mean, and just going back to what you mentioned there, going home, having that experience, seeing all this different character, and sometimes people go along this incredibly long journey down a rabbit hole of trying to work it out all by yourself. That's why, if you want to develop a great tennis game, going to academy where there's great mentors, great teachers, great performers who've come out of that academy, you're going to be iterating on best practices. Yeah. When you're iterating upon your practices, you're not exponentially extracting the network effect of connecting to other users, like within a computer network. Yeah. And that's how you leverage the power of the network. And so how do you leverage the power of the network that we have at Axia? And so you are going to, many people say, oh, I didn't have any idea of actually my abilities and capabilities because I didn't even know that side of myself existed. And so that's why having a foundation and a connected collaboration of strong powerful and expert skill sets within your network is just going to accelerate your understanding instead of you going down the wrong rabbit hole and digging for. And I've come across that. Many traders have been trading for 10, 15 years on their own, not tapping into network, and they just haven't advanced. And so this is the power of our training, is the collaborative power and sharing that information and network.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, being trading at home the last few years, on my own, it's been a very lonely journey, and having such great traders around as well to do that. But not only that, also on the Discord, on the group, doing the course, because of course, I am here on the floor at Axia, but the course actually happens in the London office. So I'm doing everything online, and the support from all the other guys on there is great. The interaction is great. Richard is always on hand. I mean, he's like a hammer on a ball. He really, he's fully committed, and it's so great to see all that knowledge just kind of, you just download it. Effortless. Great. So I think the next logical step for me to kind of move on to now is, what I've learned, which is great. What were some of the challenges that I faced personally? And I also kind of bounce this feedback off you as well. I knew this, my strongest weakness coming here was the macro stuff, the news and the CPI. And I mentioned in the intro that I'll be talking about a nail biting challenge that I had, which was CPI. Right, and the prep and everything has been just seeing how the prep is done. It's been amazing, but I really found myself it was like so much information to try and cram in to trade on the demo. Yeah, it was overwhelming at first, but at least because at home again with my training wheels on, whenever there was news and data, I was running a mile. I didn't want to even touch it, but at least now there's this focus. And although, this week, I kind of struggled a little bit with that data, but it was the first time I was doing it with the prep. And I know with that prep and all the notes that I've got, and I write down everything from the videos. I'm looking forward to every other news event, because that's the one that I really want to. I know that's my weaker side, and I really want to kind of grow on that. What would you say is like some advice on that?
I mean, there's always a weak side in a game when you don't have a process or a system to approach it. So all skills are the function or have a source code in the process. And so that's what we train. So your example in the CPI, having a process that we train you on the 6-week career program, that you will continue training after the 6-week career program, is fundamental. And then you need the sample sets, right? You need the experience. You need to cultivate and develop that experience. So those sample sets, those little data points, connecting the dots over time, then eventually the system becomes rather unique to you. But you need, again, that foundation and that process. And I know in the retail market, everyone shuns central banks, data points. I think it's witchcraft, or they told you don't trade over that. It's last year when the rates were moving, big 75 basis moves from the Fed, the ECB. It was for many of our traders their best year ever. Their best year ever, simply because they're highly skilled in a play and a strategy that you can exploit if it falls within your process and your system of observation.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, speaking of observation, I've observed, some of the other guys here, the senior traders, junior traders, and just having a little chat with them here and there. It's like I'm just hearing these little nuggets of gold, and I'm thinking, I know it's going to fall into place. And actually, when you came into the office, it was earlier this week, when we talked about routines and daily routines and morning rituals, which I've implemented, by the way.
Fantastic.
That's going to be on another video, which I'm going to be doing. But yeah, being able to kind of go through, some of the data that we get given on the teams and everything else. I'm reading it, and I'm absorbing it at the moment, and I'm trying to make my notes and trying to make sense. But it's like every day I feel there's a notch up, there's a notch up, there's a notch up, and I'm really excited for that progress.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And again, Peter, it's having, being aggressive and impatient with your learning, but being patient with your performance. I always say to all of our new traders, we don't care about your results for the first 6 to 9 months. What we care about is your learning approach, your system, your debriefing, your discretionary business of how you're building that up. And that's what's important to us. Those results, being P&L orientated, is for the sucker.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
not for the highly professional individual who's process orientated.
Yeah, it's building those foundations, getting those foundations right. I think I don't want to take too much of your time, of course, going on. And actually, we've got a cookout today that you're graciously giving to us guys here today. A lot to get through today, but very quickly, What advice would you have for me in this stage of my career right now?
Yeah, absolutely. At this stage, you want to be that proverbial sponge and absorb and come with that complete beginner's mindset. You know, the moment, and also not to define yourself. Yeah. I think the moment you define what trader you think you are, I'm a swing, I'm a scalper, I don't trade news, I don't understand the ladder after CPI. You're creating these limiting beliefs. Yeah. And the moment you create that, you don't actually see what your capabilities are. So the most important kind of that open mind, not defining what type of trade you're on, and just absorb the whole mirage of opportunities and skill sets that we impart upon you. And that's the most important, is you know, like the pursuit of any profession, and lean in, and you know, whenever there's a senior trader, you know, a mentor or a coach, we'll be fortunate to that all of our coaches and mentors also risk manage, you know, over 130 traders, so they're always downloading the very best practices you know, into you. But you know, and with regards, you know, we'll eventually have the kitchen behind there, yeah. The outdoor big, you know, lovely barbecue, souvla. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting for the next summer. But yeah, tonight we're going to have a Cameroonian surprise dinner. Yeah,
that's going to be incredible. Yeah. That's going to be incredible. Okay, very lastly, advice for the viewers out there, for any traders that are out there watching on YouTube, whether it be, you know, the seasoned traders or the traders that got their training wheels on. What kind of advice would you give them to?
Yeah, I always believe you want to tap into a community, tap into a community that resonates with you, and the community that we are is a highly professional, the pursuit of excellence, understanding that there's no shortcut in this game, understanding that we can leverage and develop quickly through powerful collaboration. And so that's what we have. So if you want to plug into that network, you know, on our YouTube channel, we occasionally load up some of our traders, you know, top trades, and you know, they're losing trades, you know, traders making, you know, 7 figures in a day, traders, you know, losing 6 figures in a day. I actually have an interview that will be going live, you know, fairly soon, of a trader coming back from a $16 million loss. So we approach it, but if you want to, you know, you being online, find that community that pushes you, yeah. that makes you, you know, that makes you understand that you just want to find the very best in yourself, and that's what we offer at Axia Futures.
Yeah, that community. Yeah, and that's what I found here. It is an amazing community that you've built here. It really is. All right, Alex, thank you so much for your support, first of all, for all your insights you've done today for all the viewers, and I'm really excited to just getting over that 6-week program and then moving forward with everything else. And the next stage is going to be recorded on this journey as well. So yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you, mate. Well, that is a wrap for the conversation, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you really kind of soaked in all those insights. I mean, just always talking to Alex is always, it's like what he said. You've got to take everything in, even for you guys at home watching, you know, following the channel, watching, you know, Richard's strategies and scalping, and you know, all the amazing stuff that he does on there, and everyone does on the channel. Just being a sponge, taking it all in, and that's what I'm trying to do here for my journey. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that notification bell. Very important. It's just one little click. Make sure it is ticked, because it is quite easy to miss, just so you're constantly up to date with all of the constant updates and videos that Axia, you know, Futures are producing for you guys. You know, and I think I just want to kind of revisit just a couple of takeaways from that, if I may. You know, first and foremost, that importance of learning from the top, right? Having Richard, who, you know, I'm going to want to have a chat with him at some point soon as well for you guys, because I've got some great questions lined up for him. He's the head of training and development, by the way. He's the one that's leading the courses right now. So yeah, just having him there on the other side, as well as Alex helping guide my journey, as you saw here. You know, it's been an unparalleled experience for me. So, you know, and having also that support on Discord. Again, like I said, I am at the Axia Futures offices here in Cyprus, but I am doing the career course online, because the course is done in person in the London offices, or you can do it online. And having that support, not just from Richard and the other guys on the team from Axia, but also, you know, the other guys that are doing the course, and seeing how, you know, everyone's helping each other, and you know, being there for each other there. So it's amazing to see, and of course here on the floor as well. We also discussed some of the real world experiences that I'm going through, some of my light bulb moments, the nail biting challenge, like we said, the CPI, and I'm super excited. I mean, who knows, the next CPI, maybe I'll record that for you guys and let you know how my next stage on that went. The power of mentorship and the commitment to growth in this trading world is key. Whether it be watching and soaking up all the information that you have on YouTube, whether it is you're on a trading floor, or whatever, just having that there, the coaching, the mentorship is so important, an incredible part of climbing that trading ladder to success. So if you guys have any questions, or you want to share any of your experiences that you've had that may be similar to mine or not, right, just drop them down in the comments below.